Hello, welcome back to another game, and we get d4. I'm trying to think if I still want to play Grunfeld kind of structures, or whether I look to play. I always quite like playing like Queen's Indian style, or okay, but against this, I'm quite happy to go into it. Like if they go pawn here, I'll get the bishop out, knight here, then we go into a Grunfeld structure, and I'm happy with a knight out here because I don't like it in the Grunfeld where they get to play knight e2. So, I mean, it might not be what they're going for at all. They might go for like some kind of London. We shall see. Okay, fine. So they're not playing for an immediate e4, locking this bishop away. Maybe we play for c5. Sure, it's just a bit of a standard position thus far. Let's have a look at our opponent. 2070 with a big spread of ratings. So they go from bishop out here. And hello to everybody in chat as well. Howdy, howdy. Do we go d5? Do we castle? d5 obviously makes some sense that we can kick the bishop. Maybe the bishop goes back and then we run it with a5. Maybe we start with a5. I don't know. Is that a move? Not sure. So first game on. Usually, okay. So now d5 obviously moves their bishop away. I presume they're then wanting to follow it up with c4. It is interesting. I mean, I could also maybe play a4. I can maybe play c6, b5. Interesting. Maybe we just castle here. I mean, this is obviously tempting that we win the tempo to send them back. Then this comes. And then maybe we play here this. I'm interested enough. Let's go for it. d5. I'm expecting bishop back to e2. Then maybe we play a4. Yeah, maybe there's some strength in that. And then if they come with c4, we're taking here. Maybe the queen takes. It's interesting. I presume we're relatively out of theory, like a5 and b3 don't feel like standard inclusions here. Yeah, so it goes back. So I kind of like the a5. Well, I suppose I need to be careful of check. Or do I? Check here, you take, but then I play b5. So maybe I don't even need to be scared of. Yeah, a4 check, and we win the piece if they go for that line. So here, if they take, we'll just let them have it for a move. We'll win it back at our leisure. We'll probably play like bishop here. Yeah, let's go a4. So idea of a5, a4. So I'm thinking that they're probably going to come with c4. So the reason I played a5 at the start point was I wanted to kick them away with d5, expecting them to go back, and I don't want to give them enough time to play a3. So I thought I'd preemptively go a5, and it just stops a bit of expansion over on this side of the board. And now a5, now a4 makes some sense because I think they're wanting to play c4. So I want to try and get ahead of the game really and play a4 proactively and just try and destroy anything that's potentially brewing on this side. And then I'll play some normal moves, get castled, find a home for this bishop and knight, and see where we go from there. Okay, so they take. So I obviously I can't take straight away because they come in with check. So I was thinking I can either castle or probably just put my bishop on d7 for this. Maybe they then put their bishop here. And then we kick it, it moves, and then maybe we end up taking. I think we can get away with this. So we've got two things attacking it. And if we win this pawn back, idea being that we've got slightly better structure. So we'll have our rook on the semi-open file, and they've got a weird looking pawn out there. And our structure is just a bit more compact, and we'll have some weaknesses that we can get after. So we'll try and pick this pawn up, get castled, and then work out where our knight's going to go. Maybe it wants to come to d7. Maybe some route like this. Yeah, maybe a6 could also be an idea. Back to c7. We shall see. And usually I do terribly for time, but we're up at what, about a minute and a half so far, so that's pleasing. So I think if the bishop comes here, it's not a bad move idea that, they can go for this, but I think I can play c6. They move the bishop away, and then I can maybe even throw in queen a5. I think c6 is the kind of move that I'd want to play anyway. Force the bishop probably back to one of these squares. I think now they'll probably go d3. And then I've got an option of whether I would just pick this pawn straight up with the rook, or the other way I can give a check on a5 and pick it up with the queen. So taking with the rook does look a bit ugly. And maybe there's some ideas of them playing c4. So I'm not so worried about. So what's the down? This, it just gives them an extra move. Taking them, I've got my queen, not really where I want it. Over on a4. So maybe we take with the rook and then work out on this. Check. Create some kind of battery here. I'd imagine maybe the engine even says you can just leave that pawn there for a longer and just pick it up when I want to. Maybe I've rushed in to take it back, but material is equal. I think my structure is better than theirs. Like I say, I just need to complete development now on castle. So we'll see. So next plan is to work out what we're going to do with our knight and our rook. And equally, they've probably got a choice of where they want to end up putting their bishop. I would have thought coming out this way makes more sense than putting it simply on d2. I think the knight wants to come to d2 and their bishop wants to come probably to b2. So they go c4. I'm fine having to trade this way. I mean, the other bit that's worth pondering is whether to play queen a5. So queen a5. Queen a5, bishop here, queen back to a6 is interesting. You can't take because I pin your bishop, but I feel like I'm going to be like there might be some like bishop here. You can take here. I feel like I'm going to get stuck. So probably just slapping it back on a8 or maybe a7 is better. Probably a7, so they've got options of doubling in the future, and it's not such a target. Don't think taking does much. c5 is another way. defending the rook. I think I'm just going to go here. And yeah, so they can be takes. Well, I have to consider which way to take. I think I'd probably take with the knight just to preserve my pawn structure, but I need to work out what happens after e4. Or maybe we go queen check. So maybe knight here and then take here. We still get the same e4 move in. My queen's more exposed. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe rook a7 wasn't so good. I could also take back with a pawn, but then I don't feel like I can argue my structure's better. I've got an isolated B pawn, they've got an isolated A pawn. But the pro for this is that my bishop can come out this way and I've got a square for my knight. Yeah, takes here. Okay. Maybe we just go takes castles. Don't think there's much merit in this. Trading bishop for knight. So I want to trade that way. Yeah, get castled and then work out what I'm doing. If they take the bishop, I've also got ideas of b5, b4, if that's useful or not. I don't think it's useful yet, so I think let's castle here. Yeah, I think white's probably got a better position. I just want to put some pressure down on this A file. They're going to get castled. Probably, do I want to play for c5? Do I go like e6, c5? Do I try and line up my bishop here or here? I think knight a6 is probably next up because this knight is currently not playing any part in the game. And then either one of these kind of routes maybe of finally ending up on d5. I think ideally I'd like to double stack on here. That's not so easy to path out. I need to go from here, here. It's a long way, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to have a knight sitting on e4. It's too many moves. Opponent's still not back yet. I don't know on the countdown of it how long it gives you. I feel like they've got longer than I usually see. Okay, they're back. whether it knows if you've closed your browser down or something. Okay, so the castle makes sense. Let's start our knight crawl. I say maybe some point in the future, rook a8, pressure down the a file. And then I've got two paths of getting here. This is obviously the more active way. I suppose the other, I've got this route. Do they want to try and push this? Okay, they go a4, interesting. At some point b5 might be quite strong then. I don't know if here is necessarily like here, then here. We could go c5. Here, here, here. How does that look? Takes. Bishop here or something. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, currently their pawn's defended 3 times, so I'm going to need a relatively strong attack. But b5, because currently the pawn's pinned. So b5, there's no takes, because I'll pick up the rook. But it's not the end of the world for them if they just move their bishop back. Just taking is just a trade, and then I traded off their kind of weakness pawn, and I'd be left with a poor c6 pawn. So don't think it's quite time for that. It might be some like. I also don't really want my queen on a5. I think my queen's better sat on c7, bringing the rook over, and then trying to play for either c5 or b5. So expecting bishop here, knight here, and taking to open up this. Mindful that this is being looked at. I could, yeah, I guess I could take with the c pawn. Maybe that's quite strong, because then I've got 2 pieces attacking this. Bishop goes back. Wow, okay, right, let's have a look. So taking, obviously leaves an exposed b pawn. They've got an exposed a pawn. So takes. Expect this. I can't go here because of this. Or I take with the knight. And I'm still not threatening that. The knight, maybe I'm threatening to come in here. Let's go with the knight. If bishop comes here, I'm happy playing b6, I think. Yes, like I say, some ideas of this. Whether or not it works, I'm not quite sure. Whether I'm actually threatening to take the pawn. because the rook is pseudo defending it, they probably just have to like play bishop takes on e7, and then the rook is actively defending a4. So I imagine I'm probably going to have to play rook e8, play e6. I might have the knight coming in. Tricky. Okay. Rook e8. This guy comes over. So rook e8. I'm not that stressed by this. Am I? Maybe I am. e6? No. Bishop here. Bishop here. Knight here. Maybe rook a5. So here takes, here takes, takes. Now drop the pawn at the end of the line. On this. So we can here, then trade this way. Don't love it. Yeah, bishop g4. I mean, they're down to 4 minutes. Materials level, you just got to try and outmuscle the endgame and leave ourselves enough time for the critical moments when they really flare up. So I think if knight comes in, I have to take it off, and I'm really quite hesitant to give up the dark squared bishop, but I feel like I have to. Queen here, takes, queen takes. Probably need to be a bit. No. Maybe I can play bishop back now. Rook over, then here. Yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Play somewhat quickly. I mean, the pro of the bishop being there was that it guarded d1. Because I was a bit nervous about one of the rooks coming over, yeah, like so. But now I'm thinking this here, and then takes. Yeah. So I think here is better than here. Oh, I didn't look at this at all, which is an oversight, isn't it? There I've got this, I suppose. Yeah, I need to be okay. So here takes. That feels okay. Feel like it's an only move. And then I'm hoping that this double stack is going to be a weakness come the end game. We shall see. I mean, they've currently got quite a nice bishop pair, like moves like this might be annoying at some point in the future. Like my b7 pawn is weak, so you can kick my rook away from defending it. You can bring a, I don't know which way you go, bring a second rook over to attack against me. So I felt like I had to do this, and they don't have time to try and kick me away with anything because I've got bishop takes on c4, and crucially with the tempo on the queen. So I can clear that square and come back. But they might still go for it. Might go here, takes. They come here and then they kind of launch off with f5. That might be the way to play. Do I double stack on the a file and try and cause some pressure, or do I try and contest on the d file? I think they're the two options. I was thinking, yeah, I'm obviously pressuring here, but it's not without letting them get here, and it's not really a pawn that I want to let them have because it does control a lot of squares, and equally with the bishop getting here, it also helps control d8, given that they can control a lot of the d file currently. Yeah, so I presume they're getting ready to play this. I do have a check here whilst the bishop is pinned, but it doesn't do much for me yet. So I can take here. I'm trying to think, is there a world of like takes? Does this end up winning me a piece? I take here, then what? You take here. Take here, you take here. I go over here. Or do I take here first? And then I'm here. That looks kind of nice. I do give up bishop here, rook here at the end of the line. So do we take first or do we take the bishop? Maybe we just take the pawn. We'll take here, here, then here. I think I'll just take the pawn. I'm missing anything, I don't know. Yeah, let's go this way. And then I've still got this. Does this work? So I was thinking I'm going to take. Does this work? I take there, attack your queen, you take here, I take here, then I'm up a piece. Right? And if you move your queen, yeah. Oh, I take here, you go here? Is that the idea? Queen, queen, there. And yeah, I do see you guys in chat, so please don't post any moves in chat. I'm still half scanning over every now and again, but I appreciate once it gets low on time. Okay, so you go. Okay. So rook's hanging, 2 rooks are hanging. So what's the current? I'm currently up a piece, so I can play rook fa8, I think, and get away with most things. I'm also trying to see if this would ever work. This. Or do we just play? Well, I can go for this. This is probably the. Is it clean? I'm thinking takes, check here with the fork of the rooks, but then you have rook takes here. Oh, there's definitely something here. Like, so what was my? So this check. I can just come up. And take. I think it's got to be. Oh, I don't know. I think there was something better in there. Yep. So now I think I probably try and play this. What do I take the pawn? Is that just super greedy for no reason? No, I can take the pawn, threaten mate. Yeah. That's got to be good. So take there. The only thing I'm thinking then is they take there, I take there. They give check here. I can just. I take. They take. I'm forced up. Oh no, they don't have queen here because I've got a queen here. So let's take the pawn here. Okay, takes. I might be getting pinned. I suppose it could be an issue. Maybe I can take here to get out of it. Yeah. So I can come. I've got this to attack. Oh no, because that doesn't attack the rook. And if I go rook here, you can just take it. Okay. So where's the best place to stick a queen? All the way back? No, all the way back here? Give up the bishop. Take the pawn to be 2 pawns up. It's a bit nervous like this. Doesn't quite work, but like rook coming down here might be an issue. I'm still preying on their back rank being. Does that work? Can you play that? If I take that, so check, takes. Yeah, queen takes check at the end of the line. Do I just throw my king up preemptively now? Can I any way to save? Oh, this is not pretty. I don't like that move. Because I think you just take here and then you've got queen here ideas. Yeah. Let's try and play quick work. So just up the single pawn. They've still got a weak back rank, which is largely what I'm playing for now. And I've dipped under time-wise. Now what? Is that sensible? I don't know. I feel like I should have probably kept the pressure on the A file. Maybe I should have played B5. Maybe queen over and this. Yeah. So what's this trying to do? Trade off a pair of rooks. Try and pick up this A pawn. I don't know. This. Okay, so that's. Well, maybe you can just go here. Ooh. Yeah, wow. Takes here, gets mated. Okay, And then we're... Oh, this is nasty. This? You can come down with a check here and pick up this pawn. But then you drop this one maybe. And then I drop this one, I don't know. Okay, then this. Taking the queen and the rook. Here. King now defends the... Yeah, maybe I should have gone here. I don't know. Maybe I also need to keep hold of the h-pawn. His rooks are blocking both of the squares I'd like to check him on. Although maybe g5 might be a threat. Oh, okay, it's to come here. So there. Can I take here? Then you go there. So let's push this. So you have this. Probably. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like if I can just get a check, given your black rank is cut off. That's a terrible move. I should not have played that. That's a terrible move. Should have played queen here. Oh, I can tell how this is going and it's not going well. Here. Takes, get pinned. So takes, yeah, don't take it. Then we go, where do we go? Why is this game so hard? got to be here then. Check. Oh, what's my queen doing here? Okay, don't mind that. I think maybe I should. This gets me onto a checking square. I mean, there's still this tension over here. Okay. Up, back, back. What are we? Oh, we're down a pawn. Oh, when did that happen? Maybe we should have kept queens on. That's frightening. Got to go with this. Okay, happy with that. Yeah, so I'm obviously defending from the wrong side. Yes, this is obviously at best a draw. Here, don't do anything. King comes, pawn comes down. Okay, so I can get in front of my pawn. Right, this. Okay, but this actually isn't here. Here I can go into the corner. You go back. I go back. What does that? Well, I can't let you push, can I? So here, here. Oh, okay. Okay, so king's going to take. I could have been absolutely dismantled in this endgame. Oh. Try this. I don't know. Some kind of stalemate, I think, is all I can hope for. Check. I don't know. I felt like I was doing so. Ooh, that's not a good move set. Come on. Yeah, I was hoping for some kind of stalemate tricks. I can take the pawn, right? I can take the rook. This is the safer way. I mean, I could just follow his king around the board to get perpetual. Right.